Once I realized, okay, I don't want to be a biomedical scientist. I want a job that will challenge me and is different every day. And I was really thinking about it and I was like, damn, my parents were right. I think I'm going to become a teacher. And honestly, it is the best decision I've ever made. When I'm not marking, planning lessons or observing lessons, most of the time you will find me down in the gym or the sports hall coaching the basketball academy. One of the things that has most excited me about coming to this specific school, they started the basketball academy. They had that in mind when they saw my CV and they were really excited to work with me, and it's been a fantastic experience.
Afternoon and welcome back to Ponds Forge International Sports Centre for live coverage of the Speedo and BUCS Long Course Swimming Championships 2022, part of the Speedo and BUCS Swimming Series. 2.5 days of live action coming up. Session 3 getting underway in just a few moments' time. My name is Ewan Dunlop and it's going to be my pleasure to talk you through the rest of this weekend. The event is being live streamed on both YouTube and Facebook, so take advantage of the chat boxes. We've had a lot of fun already this weekend, and especially at the Short Course Championships back in December. Do get involved, pass on messages for loved ones, teammates, anybody that you're supporting. Let me know when they're racing, what race they're in, who they're representing, and where you are watching from. We want to know what is happening at your end as we are here poolside in Sheffield. If you're on Twitter and Instagram, use the hashtags the BUCS Nationals and Speedo BUCS and tag at BUCS Sports into any conversations you're having on Twitter and Instagram, any posts you're making about the event and championships this weekend. So as you can see on the left hand side, our first set of swimmers coming towards the starting blocks for race number 1 are backstroke ledges being placed into the water. This session is entirely heats. What we do, as we always do at these BUCS Championships, is swim our fastest 3 heats first, and then we swim the remainder of the heats. So we'll swim the first 3 heats of every single event, get through those, and then we'll come back to our first event and swim through the opening heats. Hope that all makes sense to you. So first of all, we've got the 200 metre backstroke for the women and the men, 50 metre freestyle for the women and the men, 200 metre breaststroke, women and men, and then we end the session with the women's 4x1 medley relay and the men's 4x1 medley relay. 3 fastest heats followed by all of the remainers. And already we've got a good luck message in on the YouTube chat. You don't hang around. It's Dan Whiffin saying good luck to Nathan Whiffin in the 200 back. Please do get them in as early as possible, especially with the 50 metres. It is hard to read them out in time if they're coming in through during the race, so just give me a little bit of a heads up. So who they are, what race they're in, and where you're watching from would be fantastic. So this is heat number 3. Again, so heats 3, 4 and 5, because they're our fastest 3 heats are swum first. Then after we've done that for each event, we'll go back and do that for the remainder. So heat number 3 officially is our first event and heat of the session. You've got Megan Harries, Georgia Pease, Megan Pye, Olivia Burrow, and sorry, lane 3 is so no Olivia Burrow. We've got Jennifer King, Alexandra Waller, Alicia Enslin, Lissy Burbidge, Megan Atten and Rebecca Greenwood. So in each event, there are 10 spaces available in the final, which takes place from 6 p.m. onwards this evening. And as with all of our swimming events, the fastest 6 swimmers are spread across these final 3 heats. So in our centre lanes, that is Jennifer King and Alexandra Waller in heat number 3. In heat 4, that's Iona Sasha and Sophie Maguire. In heat 5, that is Honey Osrin and Rachel Anderson. So no shock to see in lanes 4 and 5, King and Waller, representing Stirling and Birmingham, leading the way going into the final 50. Capable, both of these girls, of sub 2:15s. And they're going to be pretty much on that mark here with a 1:52 with 50 metres to go. Might be up to about 2:20 for the quickest ones behind them. Yeah, we're going to be around about spot on the mark of 2:15, maybe just over. 2:16.32 for Alex Waller. Jennifer King a couple of seconds back, 2:18. So these are the times to sort of keep your mind on now, as I get my pen out my pencil case to make a note of this. 2:16, 2:18 for our top 2 then. Look at all these messages coming in now on the YouTube chat. This is fantastic. So let's go Kings. Let's go Harry Noble in the 200 metre backstroke for Marjan. That's from Kira Rossiter. And also Henry in the 200 back for Marjan. And good luck to Grace Williams in the 50 metre freestyle. During those races, I'll do my absolute best to come back and mention those during the heats themselves, depending on, of course, how much time we have and how many messages come in, how far back I have to scroll. But I do make little notes on the paperwork. Heat number 4 then, Francesca Crocker, Holly Steed, Rowan McGill, Becca Sutton, Iona Sasha, Sophie Maguire, Evie Johns, Kiana Bellotti, Ellen Winters and Emily Reich. So Iona Sasha and Sophie Maguire from Edinburgh and Birmingham, 2:12 and 2:13 swimmers.
So we saw the fastest time so far in the Speedo and Backstroke in the last heat with a 2:16.42, set by Alexandra Waller.
So coming up to the halfway mark, and it is Becca Sutton representing Swansea with a lead of 1.2 seconds.
At the halfway mark, it's a 67.42. The fastest leader is Becca Sutton.
There's over Iona Sasha. And they will turn for one final time as they chase down a spot one of the 10 spots available in the final later on. So they've gone through 150, just a little bit quicker than our opening heat number 3. Almost 10 metres back to Sophie Maguire and Evie Johns. They would have expected to make their way into that final. But we'll have to wait and see what the scoreboard says. So we've already got a 2:16 and a 2:18 from heat number 3. And this is very similar, right? So 17 seconds past the 2-minute mark for Iona Sasha. And Becca Sutton 18 seconds back. So at the moment, in heat number 5 coming up shortly, just a moment, a sub 2:20 looks like it's going to be enough to get into the final. And there's 4 swimmers that are capable of that in heat 5 alone. And those two leaders, so 17 and 18 seconds past the 2-minute mark for Sasha and Sutton there. And then you jump 6 seconds back to Evie Johns and Sophie Maguire. So there is big distances between the out-and-out leaders of these heats. Here's heat 5 then. Alex Brophy, Fletcher Stables, Gerda Vassila-Skaty, Ellis Shields, Honey Osrin, Rachel Anderson, Madeline Soper, Holly Leggett, Tegan Galbraith and Jasmine Hamid. So this should be our quickest heat, heat number 5. Can they go quicker than the 2:16 of Alex Waller from heat number 3? Of course, 2 more heats to come later on in the session. And simply because we swim the fastest 3 heats first, it doesn't mean we exclusively get our 10 swimmers for the final from these heats. So if you have a great swim later on in heats 1 or 2, you absolutely can make your way into the final. So it's Honey Osrin and her teammate Rachel Anderson. Also got Edinburgh's Ellis Shields in 3. They are at the tip of that pyramid from the centre. So the top 3 separated by 1.5 seconds. You double that back to Vassila-Skaty, Soper and Leggett. Back they come. This is synchronised swimming, isn't it? Look at them all turning in pairs. But your leaders coming home, it will be in an order just about still to be decided. Honey Osrin, Rachel Anderson and Ellis Shields. And they're going at a very fair speed to pick up their spaces in the final. The real question is behind them. For example, Madeline Soper in 6 representing Nottingham. So our top 3 here, 0.16 seconds, 18 seconds, 18. They're fine. Those 3 girls all in the final later tonight. 2:25, Madeline Soper, question mark there. Same for Gerda Vassila-Skaty. Got to wait and see. Whilst you're online, if you Google BUCS Long Course Championships, you'll get taken, use the first link that you see, you get taken to a resources page for this event. All the heat sheets, start times, event program, event schedule, Just because if you're tuning in and waiting for somebody in a particular heat, they don't run in perfect order as we've discussed. So just to let you know when they're going to be performing, everything's online for you, and live results too. So you see them flash up on the screen here, of course. So on our screen here, Honey Osrin, who won that heat, has been disqualified. Loughborough's Honey Osrin, winner of heat number 4, has got a DQ next to her name on the timing board here in the venue. That'll be a real surprise to her and her team. So that opens up another space for somebody else. So maybe the likes of those 225 swimmers, they might get into that final. That will be a shock. On to the men's though. So the men's, this is heat number 3. We're going to have 3, 4 and 5, just like the women's. And the first 2 heats a little bit later. So in heat number 3, Evan Brunston, Tom Hill, Tom Beamer, Zach Speakman, Nathan Whiffin, Charlie Hutchison, Tom Poulton, Matt Burton, Willem Costa and Timon Chapman. Already had a good luck message for Nathan Whiffin here from Daniel. Nathan Whiffin, the only man that's got an entry time under 2 minutes in this heat. There's only 4, in fact, from the entire field that have gone sub 2 minutes. However, in lane number 3, Zach Speakman, a name a lot of you will recognise, representing Stirling. He's a 2:02 swimmer. He has absolutely rallied through the first 100 metres. He's not letting up, is he, in the white cap? A couple of lanes above him is Charlie Hutchinson of Loughborough. Nathan Whiffin currently fighting for 3rd, 4th and 5th place, right in the centre. Got a 131 turn. He did that leg, Nathan Whiffin, Zach's in 32 seconds. For Zach Speakman on that leg, so he's looking at about a 2:02 if he can come back in the same kind of time. Here comes Charlie Hutchinson in the black cap in lane number 5, just pulling back half a body length or so. Now this could be really important, this positions for 3rd, 4th and 5th here, because we will go to the timing board for the top 10. So Nathan Whiffin grabs 3rd place in 2:07.54. And in a couple of heats' time, that could get him a place in the final. Just pipping Tom Beamer and Tom Poulton. And they might rue that last 50 metres when it comes down to it. Got 2 more fast heats to come. And another DQ for Zach Speakman this time. So, 2nd race in a row, the winner of the heat disqualified. I've never seen that before. So Zach Speakman, winner of heat number 3, DQ'd from the heat, just as Honey Osrin was. In the fastest heat for the girls. My goodness. Right, heat number 4. Josh Harris, Jamie Ferguson, Joe Davies, Jonathan Adam, Jay Elliott, Cam Brooker, Sam Greenbank, Will Ellis, Rowan Penny and David Pugh. So that is 2 of the favourites, 1 from the women's, 1 from the men's, out of the 200 metre backstroke. which is a sigh of relief possibly for Tom Beamer and Tom Poulton, because they were the ones just on the outside there. So they're now in the 3rd and 4th spots of the 10 to get into the final. So Jay Lelliott of Sheffield Hallam, home swimmer, and Cam Brooker inside the yellow lane ropes in heat number 4. Here's Lelliott with the advantage through 100 metres. To his left and right, he's got Jonathan Adam and Cam Brooker just below and just over 1 second. Couple more back to Greenback, Ferguson and Davies. Now your front 5, and there's a bit of a break back to the rest of the field. As you were through the 3rd 50. The time they're looking at beating is now the 2:06 of Charlie Hutchinson in heat number 3. They all do that leg in about 32 seconds or so. So they are looking at, if they maintain that pace, about 2:07, 2:08. No, final 50. They kick on, and that's what Lelliott and Brooker have done. And they are going to set a quicker time than that, maybe as low as the 2:05. Yeah, 2:05.45 for Jay Lelliott. Cam Brooker, 2:05.98. And Adam and Greenback in the 2:07s. And it is Jonathan Adam, this time has been disqualified. This is a bit surreal. So Jonathan Adam came 3rd in that heat, and he's been DQ'd. That's incredible. So something's going on. Something very strange is going on. But we shall move on to heat number 5. Oscar Sulis, Cyril Schleiper, Simon Clement, Oliver Morgan, Elliot Clogg, James McFadden, Harry Noble, Ethan Lawton, Stuart Crawford and Tom Pickering. So we have a guest swimmer in heat number 5, that is James McFadden. So guest swimmers can take part, but they can't win medals. James McFadden, a very well decorated swimmer. So he's just here getting some competitive experience. They all like to do. It's Elliot Clogg leading the way at the minute. So McFadden was at the FINA Swimming World Cup in Budapest just in October. Made it to the final of the 100 back in that competition. He's got a 200 back long course time of 2 minutes 0.28, set that last year in April. And now he's moving away ahead of Elliot Clogg. Again, Elliot Clogg will still be classed as the winner or the fastest from this heat. James McFadden's time will not be qualifying for a final. It's great for these guys to swim against competitors with that experience and that quality. Very close to the lane rope is Elliot Clogg there. So McFadden 202.1. Elliot Clogg and Oliver Morgan 202s and 203s. Definitely, I'm going to say this, barring disqualification, that'll clearly get them into the finals. They'll take up lanes 4 and 5, will Clogg and Morgan, a little bit later on. And those times have been confirmed on the scoreboard for us. So it looks like Sam Greenbank, Cam Brooker, Jay Lelliott, Tom Poulton, Charlie Hutchison, Nathan Whiffen and Tom Beamer will be the 8 to join those 2 in the final. Just keep your eye on the BUCS website for absolute confirmation and the schedule, but that's just how I make it. Right, to the other end of the pool. Quick stuff now. Got the women's 50-metre freestyle followed by the men's. We'll see the 3 fastest heats in each. So these next 2 events are going to fly by in about 5 minutes time total. First up, Holly Leggett, Abigail Jolly, Jess Telford, Elena Morgan, Laura McNabb, Rebecca Watt, Yana Spinner, Olivia Tatton, Emmy Hutchinson and Bethany Jordan. And it is Rebecca Watts of Loughborough. Marginal advantage over Laura McNabb of Birmingham. This could be turned round actually. No, it does go that way. Yep, Loughborough 26.1 against 26.43. Elana Morgan of Stirling, 4/10 back in 3rd place. And Abigail Jolly and Jessica Telford split by 0.05 of a second for 4th and 5th position. Heat 11, Emma Cruikshanks, Maisie Hosking, Heather Whitcomb, Lauren Cox, Kate Clifton, Jemima Hall, Amy Davies, Duru Tanier, Sophie Brandon and Emily Boost. So no Kate Clifton of Sheffield. Leaves the door slightly ajar for Jemima Hall, Amy Davies and Lauren Cox. And they do lead, along with Sophie Brandon of York over on the far side. Not doing too badly in 1 and 2 and 0. Everybody's doing, it's hard to call these ones. Amy Davies takes it 26.58. Jemima Hall in 5nd. And Lauren Cox, 0.02 of a second behind Jemima Hall for 3rd place. And 0.5 second back to Sophie Brandon, Heather Whitcomb, Emma Cruikshanks. Only 1.25 seconds separating the top 7. This is heat number 3. Brodie Judge, Charlotte Stevenson, Caitlin Cambrick, Yasmin Perry, Emma Russell, Katie Robertson, Katie Goodburn, Bethany Walker, Abby Winstanley and Grace Maskell. Looking for a place in the final. Leading through 4, Emma Russell representing Stirling. And she will hit home first of all, 26.16. Look at those times flying. Katie Robertson, 0.3 back. Then Katie Goodburn, Yasmin Perry, Charlotte Stevenson, your top 5. Charlotte Stevenson is 27.53. That's around about the number to get into the top 10. Keep your eye on the BUCS website for official confirmation as to who had made it into that final. But the times are up on the scoreboard. That is the official results, no DQs here. And we are on to the men's. From the near side, Matt Rooney, Adel Lala, Miles Lapsley, Ross Leslie, Tom Watkin, Neil Wiley, Philip Fradjeg Krieger, Jacob Lee, Kieran Beckett and Lewis Birrell. It is Thomas Watkin of Sheffield. Yeah, keeps up his #1 tag on the timing entries, 23:59. He can go quicker than that by half a second. Neil Wiley second, and Philippe Krieger in third place. Everyone under 25 seconds. 1.2 seconds separating the entire field in heat number 10. We've got William Hogg, Shaquille Giordani, Sam Neild, Callum Jarvis, Andreas Verzeus, Bruno Kempster, Henry Baker, Fraser Agnew, Adrian Ting and Aaron Fox. Andreas Verzeus was the top male competitor at the short course championships, went home with 5 gold medals back in December. He's already been the fastest in one of his events. He's looking to do the same again here. He is leading the way ahead of Bruno Kempster, but Verzeus of Loughborough, 23:33, and we will see him many more times over this championship. Bruno Kempster second, 23:59, and Henry Baker, Callum Jarvis, and those times. Andreas Verzeus disqualified. Can you believe it? That means Bruno Kempster is in first position, Henry Baker second, Shaquille Giordani in third, but Verzeus, arguably the favourite for the 50-metre freestyle. He did win the short course championship gold back in December. That was one of the events that he won, but he will not win the long course. So heat number 12. I can't get over how many of our favourites are being DQ'd. It's incredible. So Chris Lambert, David Shipman, Ewan Taylor, Reed Jones, David Cumberledge, Alex Cahoon, Harry Turner, Chris Muir, Ryan Larkin and James Allison. David Cumberledge in lane number 4. He was silver medalist behind Verzeus at the short course championships in December. He now has a chance to go one better, and he's won his heat in 23:11, 0.05 of a second quicker than Alex Cahoon. And Ryan Larkin from lane 8 in third place. This will be the 50-metre freestyle for the men later, and the women. They will both be incredible finals. You could see the entire 10 separated by less than a second in both male and female categories.
We're starting with the fastest 3 heats, and we begin with heat number 2.
So now we move on to the women's 200-metre breaststroke. There's only 4 heats, but we're going to see heats 2, 3 and 4 first of all, just to keep up with the same routine of the fastest 3 heats first, followed by the remainders. So we'll see the women's, followed by the men's. Then we will have the 400 medley relays to close out. That'll be the last event of the session, but we'll come back and then do the faster heats. Sorry, the earlier heats, as we do with all. So our first heat that we're going to watch here, heat 2, we got Ellie Sykes, Amelia Trist, Katie Rees, Sophie Payne, Kyla Merwer, Annabelle Guy-Johnson, Kamelina Stoimanova, Carly Barreo, Hannah Sheehan and Cami Suliok. Now it's nice to see in Southern Kaylee Barreo in this heat, because earlier on in the day, in the first session today, she had a poor heat and really struggled to get out of the water, had to be helped away, sat down at poolside for a little while with one of our lifeguards, and then she gingerly stepped away. So it's great to see she's fit and well enough to swim here in the 200 breaststroke. Just nipping back to the YouTube chat now, and I've got a little bit of time to breathe after the 50 metres. We've got a lot of Let's Go Kings. In fact, a lot of Kings fans. A Go Rooney, a Let's Go Kaboom, which I'm guessing is Coon. And good luck to Theo, Lily, Courtney and Ben in the 53 for UC Lan. Of Lancaster, and Morgan and Ben in the 200 breast. You've got this from Jay Taylor. That's a teammate watching from home in Preston. Love that, Jay. Thank you very much. So lane 4, Kyla Merwer representing Winchester. Entry time of 2:28, which she won't beat, but she'll set the fastest time. And it's going to be 2:31.37. In 5 and 6, Annabelle Guy Johnson and Camalia Stoimanova. 4 and 6 seconds back respectively. Then Sophie Payne. So 2:31, the fastest time from Merwer. And we just close out our first viewing heats. I'll wait for our times to be confirmed on the scoreboard in the venue.
The official results are on the scoreboard. The next heat is heat 3.
Heat number 3 from the near side, Chelsea Bean, Grace Pointer, Lily Jewell, Elisa McDonald, Lily Booker, Beth Dennis, Denise Elena Gogu, Isabel Callahan, Zara Keegan and Rachel Thompson. On the chat box we have, come on you can smash it, Lizzie Wilkes of Derby from your rowing team. Fantastic, thanks Meg for that message. Good luck to Jack Iverson, swimming in the 200 breaststroke for Lancaster. He is in a couple of heats time in the men's. And also Go Beth, good luck in the 53. From John Glasgow, Caledonia, that's from Louise Johnston. Keep these messages coming in. We've got some 400 metre medleys coming up. So I know a lot of you are going to be watching. We've got so many competitors involved. 40 racers per race there. Halfway mark, Lily Booker and Beth Dennis. Leading out Denise, Elena Gogu, Alyssa McDonald and Lily Jewell. So 2:31 fastest time from our heat number 2. And they turn at 1:50. And that leg was swum in, well that length was swum in 38 seconds. So they're on course if they can keep up this pace. And I'm really talking about Lily Booker here and Beth Dennis. If they can keep up that pace, they will go possibly sub 2:30, but most likely, as long as they're within 2:35, they'll have a very good chance of making the final later. They would expect to, absolutely. And of course, you've got to get the swim done. You've got to get that time in the bank. And there it is, a 2:29 and a 2:31. Great times here. Elisa McDonald also a 2:35. That is nice. And Denise Elena Goga at 2:41. She'll have to wait and see. That might be right on the bubble. So our final of our 3 fastest heats coming up is heat number 4.
The official results are on the scoreboard. The next heat is heat 4.
Heat 4, you've got Charlotte Frost on the near side, then comes Lauren Richards, Aoife Marley, Ciara Fletcher, Cara Hanlon, Megan Morrison, Natalia Druitt, Ellie Ward, Abigail Jackson and Caitlin Day. Off they go. So it looks like Hannah Sheehan set a new club record for the 200 metre breaststroke in her heat just a few moments ago. That is being said by Stuart Horton, at least on the YouTube chat. I will take that as correct, Stuart. This is good luck to Jack and Luke in their 200 breast, which is coming up. Well, the men's is going to be beginning in about 125 metres time. Cara Hanlon and Megan Morrison leading the way in heat number 4 for the women. This is the final heat for them. Ciara Fletcher of Nottingham in 3, and the green cap in Southern is Ellie Ward. Oh, going nicely. They're your front 4. There's really a front 5 there, because they're going to include Natalia Druitt in that too. So the time they're looking to beat, we've currently got a 2 minute 29, a couple of 31s, a couple of 35s and a 37. So that's 6 of the top 10 spots you'd think cracked in. Wouldn't be surprised to see either Cara Hanlon or Megan Morrison go as quick as or quicker than the 2:31 of Beth Dennis. Although they've given themselves a bit of work to do, because that is 3 seconds slower than Beth Dennis turned, Lily Booker turned in heat number 3. As long as they're sub 2:38, they're absolutely fine. No doubt they can achieve that. What I'm looking at here is Ciara Fletcher, Natalie Druitt and Ellie Ward. See what times they can produce. Cara Hanlon really pushing this through in the final 50. Moved away from Megan Morrison. And she'll set a very safe time of 2:32. Megan Morrison, Ciara Fletcher, they are absolutely fine with 2:36s. The question mark is here. Ellie Ward, Natalia Druitt, 2:40 and 41. I'm not going to say whether they're in the final or not, because I think that is right on the line. But you'll definitely see Cara Hanlon, Ciara Fletcher and Megan Morrison, pending any disqualifications. We just have our final couple of swimmers coming home. So we'll wait and see the official confirmation of these times on our scoreboard in the venue. And there they are. Yep, all confirmed. Hanlon, Morrison, Fletcher, followed by Ward and Druitt. They're your top 5. Right, on to our gents. This is seats 3, 4 and 5 we'll see. First up, heat number 3, from the near side, Jamie Dark, Luke Adams, Tom White, Ben Harrison, Will Ellington, Greg Fairbairn, Dan Kinsella, Tom Robinson, Luke Hoey and Tristan Detest. I'll repeat that message from the YouTube chat. Good luck coming from the Lancaster team for Jack and Luke, going for It seems we've got Luke in this heat in lane number 1. Then Jack will go in the next heat in lane number 7. So lots of support for them on the YouTube channel chat box. And Will Ellington in the pink cap in the centre, not hanging around at all. Surrounded by the black caps of Ben Harrison and Greg Fairbairn, representing Loughborough. He's got his teammate, in fact, Greg Fairbairn. So 2-second lead through 100. There's no letting up from Will Ellington. His teammate Ben Harrison just needs to hang on here. He's being chased by Loughborough and Nottingham. So Ben Harrison of Loughborough looking pretty strong in second position. The fight is on for third spot. That is Thomas White of Nottingham in the pink cap in front of us here. Then over in lane number 5, Ellington's teammate Greg Fairbairn. Will Ellington, no question mark over his performance, 2:21.21. 23 seconds for Harrison, 25 Tom White, then there's Fairbairn, 2:26. Just one DQ to bring you from that race, but it doesn't affect the results too much. It was Luke Hoey in at lane number 8. So heat 4 from lane 0, Stephen Stanley, Ronnie Hester, Ryan Griffiths, Charlie Hallett, Usain Cook, David Miller, Tom Beagley, Jack Iverson, Dan Cox and Joe Fletcher. So Lancaster watching this one closely again with Jack Iverson involved. Good luck messages coming on the YouTube chat from Lily Magri. It says good luck to Jack Iverson. And Stuart Halton again, good luck to Jack and Luke. So Luke's already been, Jack up this time for Lancaster. Usain Cook of Edinburgh pulling a Will Ellington here in heat number 4. No messing around whatsoever in the centre. Straight line of 5 behind him. There's Ryan Griffiths, Charlie Hallett, David Miller, Tom Beagley and Jack Iverson. Now, regardless of the positions here, look at that, they're all within a second or so. So I wouldn't be too fussed whether they're in 2nd or 5th at the minute. Usain Cook, our leader, was a silver medalist in the short course championships in December. It was Greg Butler, who goes in heat 5, that beat him to gold. And Will Ellington, the bronze medalist, was our winner from heat number 3. So our gold, silver and bronze medalists from the short course championships are currently on course to win heats 3, 4 and 5. Heats 3 and 4 have done just that. because Usain Cook, a 2:16.29. It's 5 seconds quicker than Will Ellington. And here they come, David Miller, Tom Beagley, Ryan Griffiths, Jack Iverson in that order, all between 24 and 27 seconds past 2 minutes. So setting up a repeat at the moment of the short course final. We just need Greg Butler to put in a good performance, and we could be having a little bit of fun later on tonight. So times being confirmed on the scoreboard in a moment. Just making sure there's no DQs to bring you. I daren't hold my breath in this session. Already 4 DQs, and they've been 4 of the favourites. And they are confirmed. Cook, Miller, Beagley, Griffiths, Iverson are your top 5. So on to heat number 5. Lewis Chapman, Alex Hicks, Dylan Gallagher, Josh Mitchell, Greg Butler, John Britton, Jay Manners, Tom Hamilton, Jack Mansfield and Luke Thomas. Again, Greg Butler, gold medalist from the short course championship and the 200 breaststroke in December. Greg Butler doing exactly what we expected, going out really early, pulling the field along. John Britton and Josh Mitchell in second and third, but 1.4 and almost 2.2 seconds back. So this is exactly what Will Ellington did in heat number 3. Usain Cook did in heat number 4. Now Greg Butler matches them in the early stages of heat number 5. John Britton of Imperial is the closest chaser, but it's still 2 3/4 seconds back. On his shoulders, Jay Manners, Dylan Gallagher and Josh Mitchell. That's the 5 on your screen now. What's this lead going to have grown to? Like 4 or 5 seconds maybe. 4.72. And then the trio of Manners, Gallagher and Mitchell, 7 seconds behind but within 0.3 of each other. And remember, 10 final spots up for grabs. Here we go then, all about the time really, just needs to be 2:16 was the time set by Usain Cook, and he sets a 2:13.96, so they will go head to head in lanes 4 and 5 in our final later on tonight. Very likely, yeah, they will be joined by John Britton and Jay Manners, the likes of Mitchell and Gallagher. We'll have to wait for some confirmation to see if they've made it into the top 10, and if so, we'll also look forward to welcoming them back to the pool for the 200 metre breaststroke final later on tonight. Now this is officially our penultimate event of the session, but of course we've got all the early heats to come through. This is the women's 4x1 medley team relay. So we're going to start with heat number 3. From lane 0, it's Bournemouth, Sheffield Hallam, Cardiff Met, Leeds Beckett, Durham, Leeds, Liverpool York, Southampton and Edge Hill. Durham the fastest on paper with a 4:35, but medley team relays just ignore the form book entirely. Anything can happen in these races. First leg then of heat number 3. And his Leeds in 5. We've got no Liverpool in 6. There it did not start. Over in Southern, you've got York currently in 2nd place, just ahead of Cardiff Met. So backstroke completed. So the green cap of the University of Leeds. Lead Cardiff Met now moved into 2nd place on the breaststroke. That pushes York down to 3rd. Things closing behind with Leeds Beckett, Sheffield Hallam, Southampton, Durham Edgehill in there. Bournemouth a little bit off the pace down on this near side. Lots to do for them on the butterfly and the freestyle. But look at this, Cardiff Met in the black cap in lane 2. They've pulled back about 5 metres on Leeds University. Absolutely stormed through. Great breaststroke leg for Cardiff Met. And in they go together, and behind them in 3 and 4 is Leeds Beckett and Durham. But already look at the difference. They dived in together, Leeds Beckett and Durham. Tell you what, if you've got a strong butterfly swimmer, you've got a great advantage in the medley relays. Every single time, it makes such a huge difference. And that's just what Leeds have got too. So still leading Cardiff Met. Still your top 2. Leeds now pulling away. So Cardiff Met had this fantastic breaststroke, just falling back again on the butterfly. Durham coming through, having a great butterfly as well in the pink swimsuit and the white cap. But the green cap out the front. Leeds have led this from the off. Can they maintain it through the freestyle? They're going to have about a 5-metre advantage going into the final 100. In lane 1, Sheffield Hallam, what a butterfly leg. They've moved into 3rd place. I don't think I've mentioned their name so far in this heat, but they're absolutely flying. Sheffield Hallam up into 3rd position. Freestyle leg to go. 100 metres separating them and a top 3 finish. It still leads out in front. Durham doing the chasing. Cardiff Met now coming back against Sheffield Hallam. This is a brilliant little race here down in lanes 1 and 2. Leeds surely have got this from lane number 5. Durham looking very safe in 2nd position, but the real race is on down the bottom of your screen here. It's chopped and changed 2 or 3 times, and Cardiff Met, who are controlling second and third place for long periods, and now they're chasing down to get back into the top 3. Leeds, your undoubted winners here in heat number 3, all about their time. Behind them, Durham, comfortable second place. But look at this, down the bottom. This is the fight we want to watch for third place. This is the entertainment, and they're going to do it, Cardiff Met. They've come back all the way from Sheffield Hallam. Hallam into third spot for a period of about 75 metres. But look at that, absolutely brilliant fourth and final leg for Cardiff Met. A 4:44 finish time, 6 seconds behind your winners Leeds, and Durham with a 4:41. But that is why we love the medley relays. You never know, changes hands so many times throughout the course of a race. An absolute joy to watch. So 4:38. And imagine if Liverpool were in that as well. That would be an even better race, you'd imagine. Durham with the 4:41. And nobody disqualified, glad to say. Right, let's do it all again. Heat 4, Newcastle, Sheffield, Lancaster, UCL, Loughborough, Stirling, Birmingham, Aberdeen, Manchester Met and Cardiff. Going to kick off with the backstroke. No UCL in lane number 3. Loughborough and Stirling, big rivals, along with the likes of Edinburgh and Bath. And look at this start in lane 0 from Newcastle. Flown out the blocks down the bottom here in the blue cap. Up in lane 6, that's Birmingham. And 5, Stirling, just about in 3rd position. Loughborough down in 5th in lane 4. So just remember that, Loughborough in 5th, possibly 6th through the opening leg. I guarantee you they'll be in this at the end. And there is work to do for the breaststrokers here. Because in lane number 6, Birmingham, storming first 100. Red cap there up on the far side. So in we go, followed by Stirling. 1.3 seconds back then. Aberdeen, Newcastle, Lancaster, Loughborough down in 6th after the first leg. Stirling chasing down Birmingham now. 1.3 deficit through the first 100 metres. In Southern, Aberdeen going very nicely, having a good breaststroke leg too. They're your top 3. On this near side, still Cardiff, who had that storming start in the backstroke. They are still up there in 4th place. Newcastle 4th, Loughborough still down in 5th. And Newcastle just falling back slightly now. So we keep our eyes on Birmingham, Stirling and Aberdeen there, your front 3. Loughborough coming back in lane number 4. They're going to move into 4th position here at the halfway stage. Could be big changes on the butterfly now. In we go. Birmingham, Aberdeen, Stirling and Loughborough. They're your top 4. Newcastle work to do, down in 5th position now. So we have a clear front 4. They're looking to grab one of the 10 places in the final. The final will be tomorrow night, not tonight. The final of these races are tomorrow night. So Birmingham have flipped things around. They lead now by 1700. Stirling still ahead of Loughborough. 4 seconds back, Loughborough off the lead. One of the favourites going into this. One more heat to come from our fastest 3. But they're getting a bit closer to Stirling and Loughborough. But your leaders in Southern are Aberdeen, and they have grown their advantage from 17 hundredths of a second to 3.5 seconds over Birmingham. Stirling and Loughborough 5.5 and 6.5 seconds back. They're not going to catch Aberdeen. They might catch Birmingham, but it's going to be very late in the day. So Aberdeen having a fantastic 4x1 here. Great team performance. Every single team member putting a shift in. And it's still 3.5 seconds back to Birmingham. Stirling and Loughborough, too much to do. So now we've almost got our positions. This is all about times. We're at a 4:44, a 4:41 and a 4:38 in our first heat. So if all of these teams can beat the likes of 4:38, which they are absolutely going to do, and they've really got nothing to worry about. There's a lot of pride on the line, and this is for lane positions a little bit later on too. So 4:18, 4:21, 4:22 and 4:25 for Aberdeen, Birmingham, Stirling and Loughborough. So not the race Stirling and Loughborough anticipated, but Aberdeen and Birmingham, fantastic performances. A question on the YouTube chat says, is there a results page? Or is there a results page for the BUCS 2022? Yes, there absolutely is, Barracuda. If you go on the BUCS website, or if you just Google BUCS Long Course Championships, the first link that you're presented with should be the BUCS Long Course resources page, or the event page for this Long Course Championships. And if you use the drop-down menu on the right-hand side, there is a resources page, there is a page for the live timings, live results, the schedule for the event. Everything is online for you. Loads of links available. So go on the BUCS website, look for the swimming section, or just Google BUCS Long Course Championships. Everything you need is there. So this is heat number 5. And from the near side we have Canterbury, East Anglia, Bath, Nottingham, Trent, Swansea, Edinburgh, Surrey, Nottingham, Bristol and Manchester. So Nottingham, Trent, a non-starter in lane number 3. And Swansea, who are the fastest on paper out of every team in the competition here in the women's 4x1. They are 3 seconds on paper quicker than Loughborough. Now, Loughborough's entry time a 4:04, and they did a 4:25. Swansea's entry time a 4:01, and Edinburgh have an entry of 4:06. So Swansea leading the way by a good chunk of time, 5.5 seconds back to Edinburgh. Then Surrey, Bristol, Nottingham and Bath, nice and nip and tuck behind them. So that winning time again for Aberdeen in Heat 4 was 4:18. Fourth position was 4:25. If we look back to heat number 3, the winning time was, I say, only 4:38. So there's quite a big window of opportunity to make it into the final on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon here. Just seeing that Lancaster, another club record set by them today in the 4x1 individual medley relay. Things have tightened ever so slightly through the halfway mark. 3.16 seconds now, Edinburgh behind Swansea. Bath and Surrey still around the 6 and 7 second mark. Now, what difference are we going to see on the butterfly? Any changes in position? These are looking fairly solid, aren't they? Swansea and Edinburgh out in front. The real race here is between lanes 2 and 6. That is Bath and Surrey. In 7, Nottingham just about still in the hunt, but anybody else you'd think, yeah, it's too much to do here. Just a freestyle to come. And on the go, Swansea then. It was 3.5 seconds. It's just over 4 now. Bath and Surrey still sharing 3rd and 4th positions. Now it's worth remembering we generally have we talk about the sort of the top 10. Of course, there are B finals. So we go down to the 20th position. Especially in these medley races, there will be a and a B final in the 4x1 medley. So they will be swum again tomorrow afternoon. The top 20, top 10 going for the medals. So Swansea ahead of Edinburgh. But, coming back really strongly, Bath. If they had 50 more metres, they would maybe have caught Edinburgh here. They're going to finish in 3rd position. Your winners are Swansea in a 4:15. That's the quickest time of the entire competition so far. 2nd place at Edinburgh, 4:21, equaling the time of Birmingham, who were 2nd in heat number 4. And then Bath, a 4:23.62. I'll put them in the top 5 times of the competition as well. Surrey and Nottingham, 4:26 and 4:30. Could be good enough. I think it might be good enough, in fact, to get them into the outside lane of the final, the A final, tomorrow afternoon. So that's the women's element of our fastest 3 heats. So we now move on to the gents. We're going to see heats 3, 4 and 5. Coming up first, York, Queen Mary, Bristol, Sheffield, King's College, Leeds, Southampton, Northampton, Liverpool and Reading. Etty Alien on YouTube says, good luck to Will Brooks and Sheffield in the men's medley. Well, this is their time. They are in lane number 3, the home team. Of course, 2 universities in Sheffield and Sheffield Hallam. And I thought this was coming on the YouTube chat. Many Go Kings. King's College are in lane number 4, and they have a lot of supporters, and they like capital letters and lion emojis. Right, so we got nobody. Queen Mary don't start, neither did Liverpool. They didn't start in the women's actually either earlier. And so no Liverpool medley teams in this championship in the 4x1. So Southampton, Sheffield, Bristol, Leeds and King's College all within 1.5 seconds of each other. York just outside that. Fastest on paper is King's College, a 4:05 they get down to. Leeds a 4:06. Just jumping ahead, looking at heat number 5, entry times 3:40 and 3:45. So our fastest on paper will need to go a little bit quicker if they want to get into the A final tomorrow afternoon. Leaders then are Southampton in lane 6. In 3, Sheffield. And the green and the red cap bopping behind them are King's College, and in 2, Bristol. Southampton, Sheffield, Leeds, Bristol and King's College. Just over 5 seconds separating your top 5. So the green cap of Leeds in 5, having a really good breaststroke here, making it a trio at the top instead of the pair that we've had for the first 150 metres. And then a trio behind in 2, 4 and 7. That is Bristol, King's College and Northampton. Right then, who's got the strongest butterflyer? Sheffield will lead the way ahead of Leeds and Southampton. Then our second trio of King's College have moved into 4th place, York and Northampton. And I tell you what, King's College are absolutely flying on the butterfly. They've gone from making up the numbers between 4th and 6th to being a competitor here. They do move into 3rd position from 6th, around about 75 metres ago. Leeds have overtaken Sheffield into the 1st place, lead by 1/10 of a second. And this is a phenomenal butterfly from King's College. Their fans online are going to be going absolutely crazy in a second. This is ridiculous. Wow. Leeds into 2nd place, Sheffield into 3rd. They've been the leaders for the first 250, 300 metres. And now King's College have got a body length advantage into the freestyle. Leeds in 2nd place, Sheffield in 3rd, Northampton 4th, and York in lane 0 in 5th. They've come from nowhere too to be chasing down the front half of the field. And King's College, from lying in 5th, 6th position 150 metres ago, go with clean water into the final turn. To their right in the green cap is Leeds, Sheffield to their left. But he's not going to give a care in the world, because whoever was on that butterfly leg needs their own medal. They turn this around for King's College, and he's allowed his teammate to bring it home. Can he go sub 4 minutes to top it off? Just outside, 4 minutes, 0.9 for King's College. Incredible medley racing. 2nd place was Sheffield. They brought it back in the end to grab 2nd place from Leeds. Southampton 4th, York 5th, Bristol 6th. Brilliant racing, just brilliant.
The official results are on the scoreboard, and next up is heat 4.
Right, if you got your breath back, let's go for heat number 4. And I can confirm, just in case you were wondering, the times have been confirmed on the scoreboard. King's College, Sheffield, Leeds, Southampton and York. So heat 4, you're going to see Warwick, Lancaster, Newcastle, Bath, Loughborough, Sheffield, Hallam, Surrey, Glasgow, Aberdeen and East Anglia. And away we go. So no, just too deep in the water. I was going to say, oh, he wasn't there, but they are there. Just took a very, very deep dive and went out of vision for a second. So a full complement of all 10 teams here. Right, what we're going to see in this one. Let's have a little prediction here. Loughborough the fastest on paper with a 3:40. Sheffield Hallam a 3:46. They're in the centre 2 lanes, of course. 6 of the 10 teams have gone sub 4 minutes on their entry times. King's College just about hit 4 minutes on the nose. So although it was a brilliant race from King's College, it might not even get them into the final. But let's hope so, because I want to see them do that again. Your leaders, Bath and Surrey, not the centre 2 lanes. Loughborough down in 6th and Sheffield Hallam in 5th. So Loughborough didn't have the greatest of events in the women's races. They went in as the fastest, finished 4th. Loughborough in the very early stages setting up a similar path. Top 2 remain through 150 metres. Loughborough and Sheffield have gone from 5th and 6th to 3rd and 4th. Newcastle right alongside them though. Over in lane number 8, Aberdeen going nicely. The rest of the field with a little bit of work to do. You see your top 6 there, 2 and 4. To the halfway stage, as you were at 100 metres. It is Bath and Surrey in that order. 0.4 seconds between your top 2. Then over 3 seconds back to Sheffield Hallam and Loughborough. But hey, will we ever forget the butterfly from heat 3? Who can do it here in heat number 4? It needs to be either Loughborough or Sheffield Hallam. Aberdeen, not going to stop mentioning Aberdeen over in lane number 8 too. Very much up there and involved in this race. Bath and Surrey, Sheffield Hallam and Loughborough. Nothing changing here, apart from the gap between Bath and Surrey. That's gone to half or 3/4 of a body length now. Just a couple of metres back to Loughborough and Sheffield Hallam. This freestyle could be a bit electric. So Bath been leading with Surrey throughout. 100 metres separating them from a potential spot in the final tomorrow afternoon. So let's have a little look here. Nothing changing as of yet. It is still our front 2, our second 2, and then the rest of the pack. Aberdeen just falling back off that front 4. They were closing the gap for a little while. That's not the case any longer. Still Bath and Surrey. A second they separated those two. Sheffield Hallam and Loughborough 3 and 4 seconds back. They need to try and go sub 4 minutes. And I'm pretty confident all 4 of them are going to do that with 25 metres to go. Certainly Bath will do it, Surrey will do it. Loughborough and Sheffield Hallam are going to match that time as well. So all 4 of these teams go quicker than our winners from the opening heats. Bath the quickest, great swim from those 2, which means Loughborough and Sheffield Hallam are not going to be where they would like to be in the centre lanes for the final, because that is going to be potentially Bath and Surrey, but with one more heat to come, they might not find themselves there either. Heat 5, Nottingham, Trent, Birmingham, Edinburgh, Swansea, Stirling, Manchester, Marchand, Durham and Manchester Met. So the paperwork in front of me says Swansea can go 3:40. Sterling can go 3:45. However, the paperwork for heat number 4 said Loughborough could go 3:40, and they finished 4th in that with a 3:56. So can anybody, no team as yet, in the last heat match their entry time? It is Sterling in lane number 5. And, in fact, Birmingham will take the first leg lead, 52.92. Good breaststroke from Swansea here. Pulling back a few seconds of disadvantage. Still in 2, it's Birmingham. Then Sterling and Swansea. Edinburgh. All the universities you'd expect to be up there, along with the likes of Loughborough and Sheffield Hallam. So a fantastic breaststroke for Swansea, from 3rd position into 1st in the space of 100 metres. Birmingham, the early leaders, falling back into 3rd position, being chased with Edinburgh alongside. So Swansea, Sterling, Birmingham, Edinburgh. 3.5 seconds between our top 4. And now Swansea start to move away. Couple of metres over Sterling. And Birmingham and Edinburgh in 3rd and 4th. And it's up to 5.3, so 2 seconds gained over that 50 metres from Swansea. So there on your screen is Swansea and Sterling. Coming into view on the right-hand side is Birmingham, Edinburgh. And up the top in lane number 7 is Marjon. So 3.5 seconds Swansea back to Sterling. Edinburgh and Birmingham 5 and 6 seconds. Marjon, they could still grab a 3rd or 4th position here on the freestyle. Swansea are moving away with this, just building that advantage. To have lane number 4 in the final, they just need to beat 3:53 set by Bath in heat number 4. And he's going to go sub 3:50, I think. In lane 5, Sterling. They're going to be around about that time set by Bath in the 3:53s. Might just get under that margin. But there's your winner at 3:48.07 for Swansea. And it's a 3:51 for Sterling. Edinburgh and Birmingham also in 3:54s and 3:55. So all 4 of those top teams quick enough to get into the final later on tomorrow afternoon. Very likely joined by definitely Bath, Sheffield Hallam, Surrey and Loughborough. Just a matter of the other 2 spots. Have to go back and look at the timings to confirm those ones. King's College might squeak into the final, you know, with a 4-minute time. Either way, they'll either be on the outside lanes of the A final or possibly in the centre of the B final, but we will see them again. Right, so now that completes our fastest 3 heats in every event. So now we go back to our opening event of the day, which was the women's 200 metre backstroke, and we're going to see all of our earlier heats in every single event now. So this is women's 200 back heat number 1. And this should be Esme Pearce, Rami Sulyok and Bethan Witchell. Yeah, no Rebecca Waite or Anastasia Smith. So just a 3-woman race here. Fastest on paper, Rami Sulyok, a 2:56.3. We'll see 2 heats for the women and then a couple of heats for the men.
Do make sure you also take photos of this event and do post them on social media and tag us at Backstroke. Absolutely. They do also include hashtag Speedo BUCS and hashtag Speedo Swimmers, because you could be on the chance to win £500. Speedo have a competition. They're going to have a look at all the photos on social media, and they'll pick one and win £500.
So closing stages of heat number 1. And it is Esme Pearce, representing Exeter, who has an entry time of 3 minutes and 10. And she's going to absolutely crush that by about 20 seconds. 2:49.96. 20 seconds and 400ths, in fact. Rami Sulyok, 2:53.18. Still 3 seconds quicker than her entry time. And Bethan Witchell, a 2:49, sorry, Bethan Witchell. All 3 of our swimmers in the opening heat going well under their entry times. Heat number 2, Laura Bedgood, Yvonne Winterbourne, Tara Box, Katerina Corrali, Sophia Breeze, Katie Roscoe, Fern McGovern, Mia Hochberg, Poppy Crawford and Trinity Wiltshire. So a question online on the YouTube channel from Rowena Moore says, where can we find the schedule? Okay, so you can either go on the BUCS website and navigate yourself to the swimming section, or the quickest way, if you just go on Google and search for BUCS Long Course Championships and press enter, the first link you are presented with should be the exact page that you want on the BUCS website. It's the resources and event page for the long course championships here, and there'll be a little tab on the top right hand side which you can use, or maybe a tab across the top, but you can then navigate through there to find the resources page, which has the schedule, the live results, the event program. Everything you need is online on the BUCS website for you. If you go on the website and the tab at the top, so that the names are slightly obscured, don't worry, just change your screen size. So if you change your screen size into a very narrow window, it will then act as a mobilized optimization window. So ignore that terminology, but just make the window really thin, and it will turn that tab across the top into a button you can press on the top right hand side and then use it as a drop down menu. But the short version is, it's all on the BUCS website, on the swimming section. So go and have a little look. Everything you need is there. Right, Sophia Breeze, a 2:40 is her entry time. Katie Roscoe, a 2:41. They are currently your top two, although in lane 6, Fern McGovern would argue that she is in second place at the minute. And she's in third place. Her time's not come up, but she's most definitely in third there. In lane number 6. So making their way towards the finish line. And Katie Roscoe has made a little move here in the final 25 metres. And she will outrun Sophia Breeze by a body length or two. Fern McGovern will complete her position in third place. 2:39.48 for Katie Roscoe, a 2:42 and a 2:43 for Sophia Breeze and Fern McGovern. Best of the rest in fourth place, Yvonne Winterbourne, and in lane number 1. In fact, Katerina Corrali has been readjusted to be in fourth position. She had a 2:48.28. And that is the conclusion entirely, apart from the final, for the women's backstroke. 200 metres, move on to the men's. Just again, 2 heats of these to come. So we move on to the men's. This is heat number 1 from lane 0. We've got Carl Savas, Andreas Stragopoulos, Toby Redshaw, Jacob Smith, Morgan Davies, Lewis Gilchrist, Sam Cook, Alex Everson, Jake Conlon and Lloyd Davies. And look at that for a quick start from Morgan Davies, representing Gloucestershire. Don't see too many Gloucestershire representatives here in the BUCS and Sheffield Championships. So when you do see one, it's nice to see one performing well and out in front early doors. So a reminder again, if you're a BUCS athlete, no matter what sport you're taking part in, you can get 20% off any Speedo kit using the code SpeedoBUCS21. The Speedo team are here on site at Ponds Forge today, giving away some spot prizes, so keep an eye out for them as they wander around the venue. They've been our headline partner now for 3 years. Speedo, worldwide, fantastic brand supporting BUCS, and university swimming is something we're very proud to have involved and work alongside Speedo. Also Teach First, leading education charity, here on the balcony today. Have a chat with them. They are regularly voted one of the top graduate programs in the UK. So if you want a career in teaching, make sure you chat to the Teach First team. They are also giving out some really cool prizes, £250 tech bundle, some £50 vouchers. So go and have a chat with either of our partners, Speedo and Teach First, here in the venue in person today to find out a bit more and maybe win yourself some goodies. Morgan Davies of Gloucestershire went out quick and he finished fast too, 2:18.07. Lewis Gilchrist 2:20.53, and third place, a few seconds back, is Alex Everson in lane number 7. Now, if you're watching online right now, especially on the YouTube channel, you could do BUCS a massive favour and just hit the like button. It does great for the YouTube algorithm and makes the channel a bit more popular, get some more eyes on it, and just shows your appreciation to all of those involved making this championship happen, and all of our swimmers involved taking part. So it is a fantastic championship and a fantastic venue run by some incredible people, and we get to witness future stars of the sport too. So everyone having a great time. Hit the like button if you are too. So heat number 2 now is Emir Thomas, Harry Badnell, Ewan McDonald, Henry Wyrell, Joseph Giles, Augustus Vesey, Lucas Lawman, Harry Peat, Luke Chapman and Jack Smith. Now, although we've had the fastest 3 heats already earlier on in the session, I'll keep saying it again throughout the day, but it doesn't mean that anybody in this heat can't make the final. They just put the fastest 3 heats out first because it just helps with scheduling and rest times and things. But if one of these guys put down an absolutely PB by a good 10 seconds, they absolutely could make it into that final. So currently, just looking back to the times this morning, you had a 2:02 from James McFadden, a couple of 2:03s, a couple of 2:04s and 5. So they need to go around about 2:05, 2:06 to have a chance of making the final. And these guys have entry times of around about 2:14, 2:15, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility whatsoever for them to do so. In lane 5, it's Augustus Vesey. He's representing King's College. And in lane number 1, it's Harry Badnell, 2.5 seconds back there. So Augustus Vesey has got this heat win really in the palm of his hands right now. To his right hand side and 1 lane above him, in lane number 6, that is Lucas Lawman. Currently, he was in 3rd position. It's been a good finish here from Harry Wyrell and Joseph Giles. So there's your winner, Augustus VC King's College, 2:13.58. A little bit quicker than his entry time, so a good swim for him. We won't see him in the final. Harry Badnell in second place, Henry Wyrill in third, and Joseph Giles and Luke Chapman. So another question on the YouTube channel here. Paul Clayton asks, has Heat 2 of the 200 metre breaststroke taken place for the men's? No, that is coming up after the 50 metre freestyle races. So you're about 15 minutes away, I think, from that one, Paul. We've got a good luck for Katie Gross in Heat 6 of the 53. Shout out to Oliver Morgan from Brian. So our first heat here of the 50 freestyle, Courtney Nash, Charlotte Price and Grace Williams. And it is a super swim from Courtney Nash, representing University of Central Lancaster. Gloucestershire's Charlotte Price is just trailing Grace Williams. There we go, a 46.46. And then Charlotte Price a 52.03. So a very legitimate question from Paul Clayton, again on the YouTube chat. He says, why are we starting the races at heat number 3? So it's not necessarily heat number 3. What we do, whether there's 5 heats or 20 heats in an event, we'll always do the fastest 3 heats first. That might be heats 7, 8 and 9. Then later on, once we've done that for every event, we go back and do the earlier heats. It simply it helps the schedule run a bit more on time. It also helps the athletes most likely to be in the finals later on a little bit more rest time, which is the main reason. It's very, very unlikely that you get a finalist from anything other than the fastest 3 heats, but it can absolutely happen. But that is the reason we do the fastest 3 first. So heat number 2 from lane 1, you've got Hannah Budd, Emma Davis, Matilda Markand, Beth Johnston, Lily Sharp, Sienna Ellis, Jessica Knight and Eleanor Cole. We've got a Go Lily from Jay. Lily is here in lane number 5. Got a couple of does not starters in 6 and 7. And Lily is possibly going to win this one. She's going to get taken all the way to the line by Beth Johnston and Emma Davis down in lane number 2. It is a close finish. She'll take 3rd place for Lily Sharp behind Emma Davis and Beth Johnston. So lovely racing there in heat number 2. There was a disqualification in lane 1 there for Hannah Budd. Doesn't affect the results though in the top 3 in heat number 2. And just to give you a forecast where we're going, we're going to have 9 heats here. The first 9 heats. We've already had heats 10, 11, 12 earlier on in the session. So 9 heats in the women's 53. Then we will have 9, just coincidence, in the men's 50 freestyle. Some breaststroke heats, and then just a couple of medley team relay heats to close out the session. Anticipated finish time for the session is 4:45, and the final start from 6 o'clock. Heat 3, got Brame, Speakman, Williams, Crawshaw, White, Lee, Hurd, Hochberg, Christina and Smith. Christina Macheska. There's no surname for her, sorry, on the scoreboard in the venue. That's why I hesitated. First place for Erin Lee in lane number 5. Charlotte Speakman in second. And it was Keely Smith over in lane number 9 who got third place there. Your winner in 31:04. Just one more DQ in that last heat as well. It was Sophie Williams. Lots of DQs today. And a few did not starts as well. So in lane number 5, we've not got Elise Parfitt. We do have Kate Shaw, Lizzie Wilkes, Georgina Winters, Heidi Chapman, Katie Snell, Mia Harris, Lang Andrews and Alex Smith. And that 28:29 for Georgina Winters. That's really quick. That is good enough to get her into a heat time such as heat 7 and 8. A 28:28. So a DQ for Lizzie Wilkes, who was in lane number 1. But your winner, Georgina Winters, 28:29 from lane number 7. Lang Andrews of Gloucestershire, 30:14, beating her entry time by over 1.5 seconds. And then Heidi Chapman of St Andrews in third place. Heat number 5 from this near side: Natasha Milton, Derry Linton, Anna Martinez, Elena Priestner, Celeste Andrew, Lucy Brett, Lucy Farmer, Gemma Owen, Dina Padaruru and Alice Fender. And in 6 it is Lucy Farmer representing Bournemouth University, leading out from Alice Fender in 9. There are your top 2, best of the rest. Rounding out the top 3 is Lucy Brett, but your winner Lucy Farmer, 29:27 her time.
Her teammate Alice Fender in 29.76 and third to Lucy Brett got in 30.38. Official results are on the scoreboard and the next heat is heat number 6.
Heat number 6, Rebecca Greenwood, Hannah Thompson, Nicole Palmer-Jones, Evie Wood, Hannah Cheval, Faith Bryant, Katrina Corrali, Katie Groves, Sarah Carroll and Madeline Brandon. The pink swimsuit in 3, Evie Wood going nicely. Again in lane number 9, Madeline Brandon this time. Yeah, a couple of quick swims from lane number 9 in the last few heats, isn't there? So 1, 2, 3, 4 swimmers go under 30 seconds and 2 of them are from lanes 0 and 9. Rebecca Greenwood in 0. Evie Wood wins 29:01. Madeline Brandon, Hannah Cheval join her in the top 3 spots. And there was a message for Hannah Cheval of that last race from Sue. Good luck on your 50 freestyle. Sorry, Sue, just missed that one during the heat. Trying to keep up with everything that's going on. Heat number 7, Catherine Keogh, Elena Barata, Charlie Dunn, Rebecca Quinn, Eleanor Mason, Izzy Aspen, Ellen Northwood, Leah Trimaki, Millie Widdop and Emma Blair. And look at Izzy Aspen go, wow. You won't see a win like that very often. In 50 metres, 28.3. And that is over a second quicker than a second place Catherine Keogh. Izzy from Marjon University came in with a 29.1 entry time. So even that is 0.8 seconds quicker. So she's gone incredibly well there, Marjon's Izzy Aspen. Catherine Keogh second, Emma Blair of Liverpool in third place. Joined under 30 seconds by Leah Trimaki and Eleanor Mason. Heat 8, Laura Chisholm, Carla Borley, Phoebe Spicer, Caitlin Gillies, Amber Cook, Jessica Law, Charlotte Rowlands, Beatrice Hollins, Ali Darcy and Francesca Pecci. Phoebe Spicer going nicely down in lane number 2. Oh, she's third. What am I looking at? Beatrice Hollins, 28.59. Then Mally Darcy, 28.61. I mean, it was 800 seconds separating the top 3, so I forgive my eyes. It is a slightly acute angle from our commentary position here. I'm not directly above the finish line. Heat number 9, you've got Lauren Hessian, Darren Cressy-Rogers, Isabel Wild, Ellie Sutherland, Louise Zolkaiska, Claudia Kirkpatrick, Jude Nuttall, Lauren Cooley, Anthea Chung and On Orbell. And on the YouTube chat, we've got Claire Kirkpatrick saying, "Go Claudia, my darling daughter, swimming her last Sheffield before hanging up her goggles after 17 years. Happy memories and one proud mama." I bet you are, Claire. That's fantastic. I love little stories like this. So Claudia in lane number 5, trailing at the moment, Louisa Zolkaiska. It'll be a win for Lauren Cooley, in fact, for 27.78 for Exeter. Louisa for Oxford, second place, and Elle Sutherland is in third place, representing Glasgow, Caledonia. So a 17-year career for Claudia coming to a close at these championships. That is quite incredible, really. And a lot of people are very proud online. Claire, her mum, Fran, Stu and Matt Daniels, all cheering on Claudia. And a swan song of a championships for her. Right, on to our men's 50-metre freestyle now. Let's see, 9 heats here. So heat number 1, from this near side, you have Joe Clark, Cian Skinner, Theo Sandon, Toby Apovo, Daniel Tiboldi, John Harvey, David Batty, No Aidan Lee in Southern, and Shiv Batoa and Sebastian Abbott, representing Kent in 9. And he's going to win this one in lane number 9, 28.19. Good swim for him there. Now, rare to see a win from the outside lane, but Kent were one of the teams that did actually pull out of the championships last minute, but a lot of the swimmers still arrived, so they are swimming generally in heat number 1. So Sebastian would have been in a later heat, but we've squeezed him in on the outside lane here in heat number 1. Now Joe Clark is an S6 swimmer with an entry time of 53.1, representing Sheffield Hallam, and he finishes outside that 57.91 for Joe Clark. And that concludes our opening heat here. Heat number 2. Anyway, Clerk, James Morris, Thomas Goff, Frankie Selwood, Joseph Jordan-Seal, Matthew Tabone, Joel Brooks, Owen Mason, George Bussey and Louis Quisbert Davies. Now, lane number 3, Frankie Selwood. It's his first ever swimming gala, so he's got a lot of proud folks online watching. His dad believes in you and God is with you. Messages online. Sarah Ransom incredibly proud of him. Jay says go Theo. And Axiel Voyager also says go Frankie Selwood. And do you know what? He smashed it. He's absolutely smashed it as Frankie Selwood. 27.92 ahead of Thomas Goff and James Morris. So Sarah Ransom, Stein 8th, and Axiel Voyager going to be very, very happy indeed. It's his first ever gala, so making people very, very proud at home. There is Frankie, and a great time too, 27.92 for the man representing Leicester University. Heat number 3, George Farr, Aaron Palmer, William Saldana, Logan Chatterjee, Herman Lau, Fengji Wang, Nick Manners-Bell, Thomas Bogdansky, Samuel Gay and Antol Macmillan. Lane 6 this time, it's Nick Manners-Bell representing King's College out in front in our third heat, and he'll take the win 25.99. Logan Chatterjee a few tenths back, and then Herman Lau. So King's College 1 and 3, and separated by Logan Chatterjee representing Anglia Ruskin University. Heat 4, Christian Bylas, Thomas Byers, Harry Eade, AJ Wood, James Cook, Ben Swallow, Andrew Fogwill, Andre Gare, Harrison Peel and Callum Hurst. Lane 5 again, Ben Swallow this time, representing Leeds Beckett University. And that is a very convincing swim in terms of 50-metre races. 24.88, that's really fast. James Cook, 25.81. And Thomas Byers, 26.53. So third place, 2 seconds behind your winner. Just shows the quality of Swallow's swim there. A reminder, all of our finals are going to be from 6 p.m. onwards. So all of these heats you're watching, they're all looking to get into the 6 p.m. session tonight. All of the finals start from 6 p.m. In Heat 5, Barrett, Batty, Seniers, Cushion, Scarrett, Casati, Panikal, Hutchins, Maitland and Edwards-Pratt. Between lanes 4 and 7, Benjamin Scarrett ahead of Tom Hutchins. 24.86 for Ben in lane number 4. Representing University Central Lancaster. And third place was Alessandro Casati of Imperial. Tom Hutchins representing Cardiff in second place. On to heat number 6. Ryan Webb, Ben Strover, Edwin Fodel, Tobias Lowe, Leon Molam, Hugh Morgan, Christian Tye, Ben Greenslade, Zach Derrick and Campbell Wolford. Heat number 6 of 9 we're going to see right now. And they'll slowly getting quicker and quicker. Don't expect any difference from heat number 6. I tell you what, I'm not calling this one because they're right up there, maybe just in front Leon Molam of Marjan. In fact, he is pulling away in the last 5 metres, but behind him is just a frenzy of times. So 24.58, quickest we've seen so far in our opening heats for Leon Molam. Second place on this near side is Ryan Webb, 25.37. 25.42 for Tobias Lowe. Campbell Wolford, 25.46, 25.47. There was less than a tenth of a second separating second down to fifth. Heat number 7, Noah Goros, James Channels, Chris Graffin, Jake Saunders, Hugo Bellamy, Cole Shepherd, Ethan Horn, Adam Akick, Declan Pang and Lachlan Colefield. So nose is out in front for James Channels of Nottingham, and in 6th Ethan Horn. Who's going to get there first? It is James Channels, 24.38. We keep knocking tenths of a second off here, don't we? Every single heat. Ethan Horn, a 24.71, representing Strathclyde. Heat number 8, James Brett, Lucas Dyson Diaz, Josh Wilson, Miles Harris, Greg Gilbride, Cameron Fenwick, Mark Tuddenham, Matty Johnson, Tom Ward and Jack Sangster. So how low can we go then? We're down to the 24.3s now. 24.38 in heat 7. And lane number 5, Cameron Fenwick, making this a very tidy swim. 24.34, we go half of a tenth quicker in heat number 8. So Cameron Fenwick representing LSE. James Brett and Miles Harris in 2nd and 3rd place. Josh Wilson, our 4th swimmer under 25 seconds in heat number 8. And coming up, heat number 9. Our final heat that we'll see of the men's 50-metre freestyle. Kimber, Woolley, Sharon, Stevens, Rothwell, Wong, Chell, Cadenhead, Richenberg and Lawman. Over in lane 7 going nicely, Exeter's Tom Cadenhead. In 2, that's Louis Sharon of UCL. And it is Thomas Cadenhead, 24.59, representing Exeter. Louis Sharon of UCL, then Tom Woolley representing Cambridge. They're your top 3 in heat number 9. And again, the finals coming up from 6 p.m. this evening. So now it's the 200-metre breaststroke. We've already had heats 2, 3 and 4, so it's literally just one heat here. And then we move on to the men's. We've got Katie Chu, Agony Slepache, My Little, Amy Rafferty, Madeline McCormack, Mai Shook Smith, Molly Renton, Morgan Gaskell French, and Libby Ward. And in lane number 9 should be Rabi Somyok. So a really wide range of entry times here, between 2:50 and up to the mid 3 minutes. Fastest on paper, Madeline McCormack of Durham, a 2:52.6.
The only women in meeting number 1 of the women's 200 meters breaststroke, we have in lane 0, Umbanga KT2, in 1 from Southampton, Agnes Devices, in 2 from King's College, Maya Little, in 3 from Exeter, Imi Rafferty, in 4 from Durham, Madeline McCormack, in 5 from East Anglia, Maya Schuxman, in 6 from St Andrews, Holly Remington, in 7 from Newland, North Gaskell French, in 8 from Hull, Lily Ward, and in 9 from Manchester, Mary Korea.
And back they come. Imi Rafferty in pole position in lane 3. And 2, My Little, representing King's College, chasing down a Exeter counterpart. Then we move to the centre lanes in 4, Madeline McCormack of Durham. Big cheers for Morgan going on here on the online chat. Not too many heats left to get those messages in for this session. And it is a win for Imi Rafferty, 2:50.2 her time. My Little a second back, or a second and a half back in 2:51. Madeline McCormack gets a nice cheer here in the venue for her third place finish, 3:01.66. Just a second clear of both Mai Schuxman and Molly Renton. So again, this is just one heat we're going to see now before we move on to the men's. We've already had heats 2, 3 and 4 earlier in the session. So this is going to close out the 200 metre breaststroke for us. It's concluded until our final later on tonight from 6 o'clock. So we move on to the men's 200 metre breaststroke. We're going to see 2 heats here. So we just await Katie Chu. Now Katie had an entry time of 4:13.4. So this is a race for her against the clock rather than her competitors in the pool. And she's gone for a 4:19. So outside her entry time, but gaining experience all the time. The young lady from Bangor.
The official results are on the scoreboard for heat number 1, and so now we'll move on to event 306, which is the men's 200 metres breaststroke.
So here we are, the men's 200 breaststroke, heat number 1. And we've got Jake Turner, Dominic Keast, Locke Ng, Nikolai Weber and Lloyd Davies. So in lane number 4 is Lachlan of King's College. He's going to be leading at the halfway stage. He's the quickest on paper with a 2:57. One of the younger entrants in the field. Turning 19 this year. It's in his first year of university. A lot of these guys will have been here 2 or 3 times to Sheffield. Of course, a fair number of debutants too each year. It is fantastic to see them gaining experience. We do have some incredible swimmers here at these championships. Plenty of guest swimmers and Olympians, and those who go on to be in the British and international Olympic teams, and of course Paralympics. It's lovely to see the names coming through. So he's still Lachlan with a fantastic lead. Dominic Key 6.5 seconds back. Nikolai Webber is the second fastest on paper. In fact, Lachlan and Nikolai Webber share a 2:57 entry time, but they are not sharing anything in the pool here. So your top 3, in fact all 5, pretty set in their positions in the final 50 metres. And it will be the man in the black cap from King's College who takes the win. All about his time here, and he has set it down at a 2:52, 5 seconds quicker than his entry time. Keast of Kiel in a 2:56, 1 second quicker than his entry. And third in the heat, Nikolai Webber. And closing out heat number 1 on this near side, Jake Turner, a 3:13. And Lloyd Davies in a 3:22. Heat number 2 of the men's 200 breaststroke.
The official results are on the scoreboard, and it is qualification in lane number 2.
It was a DQ, in fact, for Jake Turner. It doesn't affect too much in terms of finalists or heat times. Heat number 2, you got Oscar Silk on the near side, then Murray Prowse, Ben Scarrett, Rory Matheson, James Noble, Finley Paul, Sam Clayton, Adam Miller, Ethan Landreau and Henji Kai. The entry times do jump down a fair distance now. James Noble, a 2:37 swimmer. He's the quickest by 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Finley Paul and Rory Matheson. And just to give you some idea of what the boys were doing earlier in the faster heats. They are in the 2-minute 15s, the quicker ones, up to the 2:25s, so the kind of time getting you into the final. And the halfway stage is Adam Miller over in lane number 7, representing Glasgow. Oscar Silk and a good swim representing Exeter. On lane 0 on the near side of your screen, just out a shot on the right hand side. There he is down there. So it's he and Adam Miller of Glasgow. And they're going to turn for home. Miller with a half a second or so advantage, 0.51. My eyes did not deceive me. James Noble, Rory Matheson and Finlay Paul between 2 and 4 seconds back. So not chasing final spots here, but most definitely getting times on their records, putting times in the book, experience of bigger championships. There's no better place to do it than Ponds Forge, close to several big championships across the last few years. And Adam Miller gets it in a 2:40.65. So 6.5 seconds quicker than his entry time. So a great day for him. James Noble a 2:40.73, just a tenth of a second back. He's representing Lincoln. He can go a little bit quicker there, James Noble. And in third place in the heat. Second early on, Oscar Silk, 2:42.41. It's 10 seconds quicker than his 200-metre breaststroke entry time. So that's it done for the breaststroke. We're back to the women now. We've got 2 heats of the 4x1 medley team relay. These are a lot of fun, but only, well, on paper it should be 3 competitors or 3 teams in the first heat. Just 2 heats to complete. So it should be LSE, Brighton and Queen Mary. So we'll wait and see who turns up. And if you are just joining us, thank you very much. We are live from Ponds Forge International Sports Centre for the Speedo and BUCS Long Course Championships 2022. Having a great time here in Sheffield. Already some fantastic performances. And we are looking forward to many, many more. We've got our final session from 6 p.m. Still got a few more heats to go in this session. We are expected to finish around about 4:40 or so, because we've got 2 heats in the women's 4x1, followed by 2 heats in the men's 4x1, just to close things out. We can go away, have an early dinner, come back at 6, and see who are going to be our long course champions for 2022. Big thanks to both of our headline partners, Speedo and Teach First, both of them here in the venue this afternoon, giving away some great prizes, but along top of that, some great information on the kit and availability of Speedo swimwear and Teach First and their programme. So in fact, there's going to be no heat 1. We're going to go straight into heat number 2. So I'm just going to wait and see on the scoreboard who's taking part here. So there was meant to be 3 competitors or teams in heat 1 and a full complement of 10 in heat number 2. However, there's going to have been some dropouts. So I will, when I get the scoreboard information up, I will let you know who is taking part.
We move on to event 307, which is the women's 4x100 medley relay. We have heat number 2.
So confirmation in the venue, if you can hear that. We're just going to go straight into heat number 2. And it is actually everybody we expected to be in heat number 2, so no change on the start list. From the near side, you got Bangor, Kiel, St Andrews, Oxford Brookes, King's College, Warwick, Imperial, Exeter, Chichester and Kent. And we are off. So let me know who you're supporting and who in each team. And also let me know where you're watching from. That's always good fun to find out where in the world people are being supported from. Now, we had a lot of fun earlier in the faster heats earlier on in this session, where we had some incredible turnarounds. One of those, and the standout performance, was actually from King's College, who, going into the butterfly, they were in 5th position and turned it round to win their heat by about 5 seconds. It was phenomenal. So what can the girls do here? They're in a very similar position, funnily enough. 5th or 6th place through the opening leg. Do not be fooled by this. But your early leader in 5 are Warwick. So lots of support online for both Kings and Bangor. Also a Go Team Warwick. And it is Warwick that lead through the opening stages. On to the breaststroke in lane number 2, St Andrews. Inside them in 3 is Oxford Brooks. Over in 6 is Imperial. So let's see how things change here. Fastest on paper is King's College with a 4:52. And currently trail in 5th position. It's Warwick, St Andrews, Imperial and Oxford Brooks ahead of them. 7 seconds behind the leaders. So Warwick looking strong, no change at all with our leader. A little bit of shuffling behind as King's College make their way into 4th place from 5th 100 metres ago. And in fact, they might go into 3rd here too, because they're going to overhaul Imperial over in 6. Your leaders remain, no change for Warwick, 2:35 to the halfway mark. And they go on to the butterfly. And here's where we can see massive changes now. If you've got a strong butterfly swimmer, big advantage in the medley relays. You can go St Andrews in 2nd place. King's College up to 3rd. Exeter back to 4th. Then Imperial down to 5th. Still chasing in 6th in lane 3 is Oxford Brooks. You've got a very clear leader and then a pack of 5 behind. And St Andrews putting in a great butterfly here. Over on the far side in 7, Exeter, again, great butterfly. King's College still in 3rd. But Warwick in lane number 5, surely just 100 metres of freestyle to come. St Andrews having a stormer here, really holding off the rest of the field to retain their 2nd place. There's still a fight to come over the final 100 on the freestyle. You never know who they've left in charge of their 4th and final leg, these teams. They can rocket through. But St Andrews looking solid in 2nd. In lanes 4 and 6, King's College and Imperial in joint 3rd position. They dive off together into the final 100. Oxford Brooks step back in 5th. They've got plenty of work to do to catch, but look at Warwick go. There's never been any doubt whatsoever. They've absolutely stormed this heat. Great team performance. And we're going to look at their time now, because they could squeeze this into the A final. There's going to be a B final later on tomorrow afternoon. But who knows what they're going to be in, because they are leading this by almost 25 metres they've won this by. St Andrews holding on very, very honourably to 2nd place. In 3rd and 4th, Imperial are going to pip King's College with 5 metres to go. So your winner, 4:44.52. 2nd place is St Andrews, and Imperial do just out-touch King's College. So Warwick's winning time 4:44, 11 seconds quicker than their entry time. I'm just looking back at the earlier times from this morning. It's going to get them one of the centre lanes in the B final by my calculations, and just missing out on the A final by several seconds. But absolute utter dominance in the heat, and we just wait for Chichester to complete their freestyle leg and conclude the women's medley races for today. Again, we race their finals tomorrow. So now the gents take over. So 2 heats, one with just, should be 3 teams. Looks like there's 3 waiting too. That's fine, that's good. Just waiting for the girls to clear the pool. And it should be Exeter, Bangor and Kent in our first heat.
And we move on to event 308, which is the men's 4x100 medley relay. There are 2 remaining heats. We begin with heat number 1.
So there we go, Exeter, Bangor and Kent. Bangor fastest on paper, 4:45. Kent a 4:50 and Exeter a 5:12. So away we go with our first heat. And if you are sending some messages in, I've got a shout out here for it's Ollie's flatmates. You've got to tell me what team Ollie's racing for, because in the heats I only get the team names, not the individuals, sadly. And when you've got 40 guys all wearing shorts and a swimming cap, it's very hard to tell them apart of the ones you do recognise. So let me know, Abigail, who Ollie's representing, and we'll give him his university a shout out if it's either in this heat or the next one. See now, Emmy, that's exactly what I want, okay? She said, let's go Scott. He's doing the fly in the relay for Exeter. That is brilliant information, because I can literally point him out when he's in the pool. It's wonderful. A couple of shouts for universities in our next heat. So I'll give those when they're due. So we've got a come on Amy and come on Bangor. So Amy's had a good day, hasn't he? Now he's representing his team in the medley. Bangor currently in second place because Exeter are flying. So 139 to 150 for Exeter. Bangor are going to be 8 or 9, maybe even more seconds back than that. Yeah, it's 9 on the nose. So even with a butterfly, which can change things, 10 seconds is a huge number. So another shout out for Exeter on the YouTube chat from Dill Shepherd. And I can tell you, coming up next for Exeter, doing the butterfly, is Scott. Because MEW told me so. So I have absolute full faith in that. He's had a huge dive into the pool, and all he has to do now is have a half decent leg, and he's going to hand over to his final 4th leg teammate to win this heat number 1. Ingo Bangor in 2nd position. And there's not going to be too much excitement, I don't think, over these next 2 legs. I can't see these 3 positions changing Banger just coming into view on your screens there as Scotty boy turns for home on his fly leg. Towards then the final leg, and as we thought, no change. Although the lead is shortened ever so slightly. It was about 25 metres and now it's down to about 10 or 15. So a fairly decent fly leg for Banger there. But this is just a 100-metre training run now for Exeter as they go forward and turn for home. Kent just diving in for their freestyle leg. And back they come then. Exeter, just trying to get my head around some of these YouTube messages. Got lots to go in the final heat in a second. This one I don't want to miss any. I'll read out anything that is suitable. So a 4:27 then for Exeter, and they'll be pretty chuffed with that. And do you know what? I didn't think there would be, but there is going to be a change of position right at the end here, because in lane number 5, Kent are coming through on the freestyle. There we go. Mimi, away he goes. And he's made up about maybe a dozen seconds or so there, right at the end. That is brilliant from Kent. And Banger, after being in second place for around 375 metres, will settle for third place. So heat number 2, our final race of the session, before we come back at 6 o'clock. And we're going to be watching Edgehill, Keele, Leeds Beckett, Oxford Brookes, Imperial, Cardiff, St Andrews and Bournemouth. Our final race of the session coming up. So, just going through the YouTube chat here. We have a shout out from Suzanne who says, "Go St Andrews. Good luck, Ryan Sanders and the team. Mum and Dad are watching from Cheshire." Yeah, I've been told to keep my eye out for Ryan Sanders doing the fly leg for St Andrews. Stan says that boy is a fish. So we'll wait and see. I'm guessing he's some sort of salmon if he's doing the butterfly. Ryan the Salmon Sanders doing the fly in lane number 7 in a couple of 100 metres time. We've got to go on Edgehill, come on Keele. And another go Keele. So popular university are Keele. There's no Imperial, as you can see, in lane number 5. Leading the way then through the backstroke is Cardiff. Oxford Brookes in lane number 4. So your top 3, Cardiff and Oxford Brookes, up there with Leeds Beckett. In 5 are Imperial. That's your top 4. So a clear 3 at the front. 2.5 seconds separating them. Another 4.5 back to Imperial. And already this is looking a really, really big ask for St Andrews, Bournemouth, Kiel and Edge Hill. Your 4 teams taking up the 4 outside lanes. So we go back to the front now, and our 4 teams leading. So right out in front, Oxford BUCS now going on to the fly leg. Then you've got Leeds, Beckett and Cardiff. Imperial 2:13.08, make it your top 4. Now, I'm expecting big things from Ryan Sanders here. I'm expecting him in lane 7 to get his team back into the top 3 over the next 50 metres. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't. And on to our final 100 metres of the freestyle here. And this has turned into a real race now. Oxford BUCS going first, Cardiff, Imperial, and then Leeds Beckett. Leeds Beckett with the work to do. And this is great. This is 3 side by side, 400 metre race. Going to come down to the final 50 here. Oxford BUCS, Imperial and Cardiff. You won't see this too often, teams turning neck and neck like this. We often come back right at the final stages, but this is a fight now for the win in heat number 2, potentially to make it into the centre lanes of the B final. Making their way forward are Imperial. To their right hand side Cardiff, to their left is Oxford BUCS, and now they move away a body length. That won't be caught into the final 5 metres. And look in lane number 3, Leeds Beckett coming through fantastically well on the freestyle. They were out of this. If this was another 25 metres, they would have been right in there. Imperial take it 4:08.20, Cardiff 4:09.49, Oxford BUCS 4:10.33, and Leeds Beckett making up massive amounts of ground in the final 100 metres with a 4:11.92. St Andrews come through just under 4 minutes 30. In 1 is Edge Hill, and Kiel are just going to pip, I think, Bournemouth. No, Bournemouth do pip Kiel, in fact. Look at that, 0.02 of a second separating the remaining 2. But a win for Imperial, a 4:08.20, cracking time and a cracking race too. So that is the end of our session. We come back at 6 o'clock. Hope you're enjoying the action here in Sheffield on Ponds Forge International Sports Centre. It is day 2 of the Speedo and BUCS Long Course Championships 2022. Go and have an early dinner, but don't go too far. We go racing again. It's the finals, the gold, silver and the bronzes, all up for grabs across every event from the day from 6 p.m. But for now, enjoy yourself and goodbye.
Once I realised, okay, I don't want to be a biomedical scientist. I want a job that will challenge me and is different every day. And I was really thinking about it, and I was like, damn, my parents were right. I think I'm going to become a teacher. And honestly, it is the best decision I've ever made.
When I'm not marking, planning lessons or observing lessons, most of the time you will find me down in the gym or the sports hall coaching the basketball academy. One of the things that has most excited me about
So just hang on one moment. If you're still there and watching, we have got a swim off. We've literally just had news that we've got a swim off. I couldn't even tell you what event it is yet. I'll find out as soon as I can. But swim off always very exciting. So I think, I mean, I'm just going by visuals here. It might be a swim off in one of the team relays, because I could only see teams of gentlemen around us. And I'm only seeing what you're seeing here on the screen. So I'm in the venue, but I can't see much more than you can really in terms of information. And it is going to be a 50-metre swim off. So a 50-metre swim off. And it is of Neil Wiley of Manchester and Reed Jones of Bath.
So we do have a swim off. It's the men's of 50 metres freestyle.
So it's the 50-metre freestyle. And this is to get into the final of the 50-metre freestyle, which is coming up from 6 o'clock. So I very nearly ran off there to get some fresh air and a sandwich. I'm glad I didn't. So this is in fact to be first reserve. This is live information coming through as we speak. So Reed Jones and Neil White racing to be first reserve, and there has been several withdrawals across the championship, so it's very, very, very worth being that first reserve. So here they go. For those of you who have hung on, we've lost about half our viewers naturally. That's absolutely normal, I think, but for those of you still watching, you get a little bit of 50 more metres bonus entertainment here. It is Neil Wiley. He's just going to outpit Reed Jones at 23.69. So what that means is Neil Wiley will be our first reserve for the final of the 50-metre freestyle. Reed Jones will be in second place. So we might not see Neil Wiley in that final, but if anybody withdraws, he will be the man that takes their place. So, folks, that is, I believe, there's not going to be another one, surely. That is the end of our session. Enjoy your break, and we go racing here again at the Speedo and BUCS Championships for the long course at 6 p.m. onwards.
Once I realized, okay, I don't want to be a biomedical scientist. I want a job that will challenge me and is different every day. And I was really thinking about it, and I was like, damn, my parents were right. I think I'm going to become a teacher. And honestly, it is the best decision I've ever made.
When I'm not marking, planning lessons or observing lessons, most of the time you will find me down in the gym or the sports hall coaching the basketball academy. One of the things that has most excited me about coming to this specific school, they started the basketball academy. They had that in mind when they saw my CV, and they were really excited to work with me, and it's been a fantastic experience.
Drum.